Hello. Still feeling hungry for a new game to play after uploading the first episode of this series, we will continue playing our way through this list of the best NFT games in 2022. With my original intent of this series being to explore NFT games from the perspective of a gamer, I'm looking for a game I can launch and play right now. Because of that, if a project has no gameplay available, I'm just going to briefly summarize the project, my thoughts on it, whether it's a scam or not, and then move on to the next item on the list. The use of the rating system that I outlined in the previous video has been placed on hold, as the next few games that I'm about to show will fail 3 out of the 5 categories. The second best NFT game to play in 2022, Tamadoge. The link in the article takes me directly to OpenSea. So far, not a good sign. Of course, this is just another presale. Looking at the game's actual website, this looks eerily similar to Robot Era. In fact, it has that same fake featured in list that we saw on Robot Era's site. Out of curiosity, I clicked this free $10 button at the top of the site because, who wouldn't want free $10? But, of course, it's only if you shill their game. What a waste of time. Browsing the subreddit shows a few posts from depressed holders expressing their discontent in the project, which appears to have gone almost completely dark. They mention a future game releasing, but show no real indication of what that game will be. I did find one screenshot of what looks like an AR Doge, but nothing else. I'm pretty sure that this was created by the exact same people as Robot Era, but I have really no way to prove that. I think what we're looking at here is the remnants of a rug pull scam with no future as a game at this point. I like to imagine that the people who gave these projects money did so not on the hopes that there would actually be a game, but they could 10x their initial investment. Regardless, they've lost their money and should really use this as a lesson to do some bare minimum research on a project before spending money on it. Number 3, Silks Online. Silks Online promises to bring horse racing to the metaverse by creating NFT clones of all real racing horses born each year in real life, allowing the NFT owners to collect revenue based on how well their horse performs in reality. Again, no game to play here. I did a quick look through the Unity Asset Store as well as on some sites like TurboSquid and CG Trader to see if I could find what models they used here, and I didn't have any luck, so at least they're using their own artwork. The team behind this game is a little harder to find, but I did manage to find their LinkedIn profiles. They do look like legitimate people, but none of the staff listed has any experience in game development. One of the team members does have experience in the gaming industry, but it's from over a decade ago, and his role was in marketing, not game design or development. As a gamer, I would really like to see the development team presented up front and center. It's certainly not uncommon for new games releasing to hype up their games with claims such as, "from the developers of whatever," and listing some names of the industry veterans on their teams. Even an indie project at a bare minimum is going to have a trailer or maybe a link to the creator's itch.io page, so this is pretty sad. Digging a little deeper, I found that Silks actually has about 4 gameplay demos, but they're not really displayed anywhere on the main site. In fact, I found them by looking at the Vimeo account that the investor presentation in their white paper was uploaded by. Please enjoy this gameplay demo of Silks Online. Yep, that's the actual frame rate of the video. No, it doesn't have any sound. I think I could recreate this in maybe an hour or less, so let's go ahead and try that. Alright, so this is what I got after 18 minutes, but my frame rate's way too good. I tried to add some code to do pointless math, but even that wouldn't lower the frame rate. In fact, I really have no idea how they managed to make the gameplay look so bad, considering that they also used Unity to make this. This is embarrassing. They probably shouldn't have uploaded this. I don't think there's anything else to say about this game. It's not even a game, it's just a dream that the creators have. In the end, it seems like the purpose of this game was to just generate the player's income with no real gameplay. And of course, this project has land ownership and metaverse features as well, because you couldn't be a crypto game without that. Now, for the question that everyone's probably wondering, do I think that this one's a scam? It doesn't appear to be a scam per se, but it's definitely an example of a team putting the cart before the horse and charging money before they even have the bare minimum product to demonstrate. Essentially, it's just an NFT collection on OpenSea with a "trust me bro" promise that one day there's going to be a game associated with it. I'm bored. Let's move on. Number 4, Battle Infinity. Play fantasy sports in the metaverse. Another one here, that's not a game. In fact, they barely even try to advertise what the actual game is supposed to be here. It's just stake IBAT, buy IBAT, give us money, be a part of history, get rich, invest in us. Again, here the development team shares the same issue as the previous project. They have a history in crypto and Web3, but no history in gaming. Looks like their lead developer's only experience as a lead developer is at a startup that did meeting transcription, nothing to do with gaming. Their lead graphic designer listed here on the website doesn't even appear to be a 3D modeler or game art designer or really anything like that. His LinkedIn says that he's a freelance graphic designer and video effects editor. In fact, he doesn't even mention this project on his LinkedIn. I don't think I would either if I was him. I find it quite funny that under the how-to section they have how to buy, how to give us money, how to give us more money, and how to set up your wallet to give us money. But there's no how to play. Of course, why would there be? This isn't a game.
Hello, welcome to the metaverse world of Battle Infinity. Let's dive in to explore. It's a multiple P2E NFT gaming platform specially made for creators and gamers. Everything is integrated with blockchain and metaverse. Built on Binance Smart Chain Network. With 6 major products. The first one is IBAT Premier League. It's an NFT fantasy sports game where you can make your own team and battle with others. You can play multiple sports games like football, cricket, basketball, and many more. Second one is Battle Swap. Swap will be used to directly buy, sell, and exchange any token with our native token with a single click. This will help users to use our platform.
There's no point in giving this one a rating. This is literally unplayable. Do I think that this one's a scam? I don't care. All I know is you really shouldn't be giving these people your money. There's hundreds of better projects out there that you can support that actually have real gameplay footage, playable demos, and a team with a verifiable history of delivering a good video game. Okay, so we've already covered 4 games on the series, and not one of them has actually been a game that I can play. If I was actually an average gamer and not just doing this for a YouTube video, I think I would have stopped here. But thanks to your suggestions in the comments, I've got a whole list of actual playable games that I'm going to be covering on this series. However, I do want to finish this list before getting to those games that you guys suggested, so let's take a look at the next game. Lucky Block, NFT-based competitions and prize draws. Alrighty, that's going to be all for today. The next game on this list is Axie Infinity, which is actually a game. Make sure that you're subscribed, turn on notifications, like the video, and keep leaving good suggestions in the comments. Your support means a ton. Goodbye.